Good evening, one and all, and welcome to round 9 of the GPVWC Academy Championship here at Brands Hatch, one of my personal favourite tracks. Here in Kent, I am James Knox, and joining me in the commentary box this evening is Ross McIntyre, and on cameras is Amir Oates. How are we doing, Ross?
Very well, thank you, James. Yes, pleasure to be here. I've just spent 4 days boiling myself to death at this circuit, and then Remco heard about this and immediately went, go on then, you can do it in Academy as well. So great to be back, and should be an interesting evening tonight. It's a tricky old circuit here, very, very bumpy, and it's old school. Not a plot of place to get it wrong, because you'll meet a wall very, very quickly, especially down on the Grand Prix loop. But again, should be a lot of fun, and a special race as well. Brands Hatch is celebrating 100 years of motorsport ventures this year, so why not put the jewel in that crown with GPVWC Academy?
Exactly. This is, I mean, I love this track. I live very near it. I'm very well versed on the track, the corner names as well. I don't need a track map. This one, I don't need a track map. Every commentary, I have a track map. This one, I don't need it. I love this track, and it'll be great to see the academy drivers navigate their way through this track, which is quite difficult, especially the narrow section on the, because obviously we're using the main GP circuit, but the narrow sector 3, it's just, you know, we'll see what happens, but it's a very narrow part of the track and very easy to get wrong. So we're very interested to see how the drivers navigate that one.
Will be indeed. Looks like we're hoping to have a pretty big grid of drivers as well. I think we're scheduled to have about 17 or 18, supposedly. We'll wait to see if that's going to be confirmed. We should just be getting underway in our qualifying session pretty shortly, so I guess we can find that one out. No, 18 in the server, so there we go. We are expecting everybody in. So that's good. And again, it's Brands, even though, of course, it has Grand Prix and World Championship heritage all throughout motorsport and has hosted multiple World Championships, European Championships across the ages. It's a, with all due respect to it, it's a facility that has not aged particularly well. It's not the biggest piece of road in the world. Even though the track itself is quite long, it's not a massive area of land. So sticking 18 Academy drivers out there for 2 races, 16 laps apiece, could be a little bit interesting. But looks like we are ready to get going for qualifying, James. At the top of the timesheets at the end of the practice session, looks like it was Lucas McIntyre who was the pace setter. So let's see if you can translate that into qualifying.
Definitely, Lucas. I mean, he won race 1 in Imola, and I'm not sure if you saw that, Ross, but he won it with a last lap overtake on the last 2 corners as well. Incredible battle between him and Grimalizzi it was. So it'll be interesting to see if he can replicate a nice race 1 win again. I'm sure he'd like to. He was, I think, 5 to 6 tenths quicker than the car in second during practice. So he's looking like the pace setter here and the driver to beat.
He will be, but of course, practice and qualifying, 2 very different kettles of fish. Bit more pressure on your shoulders over 1 lap. Of course, private qualifying sessions, as always, here in GPVWC. So you don't have to deal with anybody crashing out, but also that doesn't mean you get any slipstream either. It's just about what you and the machinery can do over 1 lap. But it'll be interesting to see again. McIntyre, as you said, he's one of the stalwarts of the Academy Series, or in 2026 anyway. So you'd think he's definitely going to be one of the favourites to try and get that pole position coming into race number 1. But it's still, well, we haven't even got halfway around the lap yet as we go on board with McIntyre. So still plenty of time left to go, 40 minutes, anything can happen. There's plenty of very solid drivers in this session as well. Sergei Soroka, the Ukrainian, joining us this evening. He's always very, very consistent over a race. Maybe the 1 lap pace a little bit lacking compared to others, but certainly can't count him out once the red light go out. But we'll wait to see how it's going to unfold. Again, we haven't even got the first laps under our belts yet, so it's all to play for.
Definitely. So here is Lucas McIntyre. He's starting his first lap as he heads down into Pelican Bend. You want a late apex here, so you get a nice exit coming down here, running the car nice and wide, heading down into Druids here. A nice little hairpin, power on nice and early. Again, you want to be using all the track on this, or as much track as there is. You want to be using as much of it as it is quite narrow, and you want to carry as much speed as possible. Heading down into Surtees, passing the Indy part of the circuit, heading down through, I believe this is Pilgrim's Drop, I believe.
It is, yes.
Bridge. It's a lot deeper, or a lot steeper, sorry, in real life than it looks here. Heading down into Hawthorne Bend. So again, it's a very hard part of the track to get right. He's got a purple sector 1, but obviously we won't be too sure if that is 100% purple until he has crossed the line, or has everyone has crossed the line, shall I say. As he now heads down into Sterling's, I believe. Another purple sector. Again, all running it nice and wide. Touching a little bit of grass there. Might have compromised his exit, but now heading down through the final corner. And let's see where this lap compares to everyone else.
Wait to see as he comes to the line. Green in sector 2. What's it going to be for Matchlick? 1:14.178. And that is less than half a tenth ahead of Devarkos in P2. So Devarkos early pace here from the Greek driver. Anthony Devaldo, 3/10 clear in sector number 1. Let's see what he can do as he heads through clearways. Clark curve to go. Need to keep it as tight as you can on the exit. Get right up to the wall so you get the thinnest air and the shortest run to the line as well. Dives out, so that looks like Deval's going to go for another lap potentially as he slots into 3rd place. Similarly, less than a tenth away from Matchlick, so it seems tight at the top early doors.
Definitely. I think people seem to be going for 2 runs here rather than just the 1 and then pitting. But obviously in Academy, you don't need to go the full. You don't need to do the full in lap. You can just reset to the pit lane. So there's an opportunity for more laps to be set. But yeah, Matulik is a lot. Matulik and Davokos, and you know the top four are a lot closer than I think we're expecting. As Timo Coolan just disappears into the back rooms there. But Malamani Kandan here drove in FS2 last week. Unfortunately, he didn't get any points that race, but he did drive with the Academy team, so he is very well versed, obviously, with this car. He is a few tenths off in each sector there, but he comes round Clark Curve, the final corner. What is this lap going to be? He's going to take the wider line here, usually take the inside line, but as he crosses the line, he goes P7 there, 9/10 off of Matulik.
So an okay early banker there, but the track, of course, will rubber in over the course of the session. And still time left on the table as well as we go on board with the nose cone cam of Noah Sparks. On the run into Sterling's, the penultimate corner. A little bit of camber to help you pivot that front end round before you get onto the penultimate straight. Then clearways Clark Curve, as I mentioned a few moments ago. You can see that very aggressive turn in there from Sparks. You can see the front sliding after the initial bite in. So putting a lot of lock on there. So that could be something to watch from him if he starts to chew through the tyres in the race. Potentially Devarkos has gone half a tenth clear on the opening sector as gets it very, very deep there through Westfield. That's going to cost him time, but it's still green in sector 2.
Still green in sector 2, and also Deval has gone quickest as well. While you were talking there, Ross, he's gone quickest. So yeah, Matulik has some time to chase here clearly as Davokos crosses the line, and P2, very, very close there. But Matulik will have to respond to this.
He will indeed, but there's still plenty of time left, but the action is coming thick and fast already. Matulik, 400s up in sector number 1 as he's super committed through Hawthorns. Look at the car dancing around right on the edge of grip, right on the edge of the laws of physics. As we go through Dingle Dell, now riding on board with Lucas. 2 real corners left to go. Aggressive there through the left-hander at Sterling's. Now just praying you get a good exit. Half a tenth clear in sector number 2 as well. Now don't mess it up. Through Clark Curve onto the grass. That's going to pitch him deep and cost him speed, but he looks like he gets away with it. Comes to the line. What's it going to be for Lucas Matchlick? It will be pole, even though he's down in sector 3. Half a tenth clear of Deval in P2.
Yeah, the car looked really hooked up there for Matulik. He's, lots of grass there being kicked up from Deval on his outlap. But yeah, that was very, very committed lap time from Matulik there. You can see on the last corner how much grass he took there. You know, trying to ebb as much time as he possibly can. Bring the neck out of the car, shall I say. But no, that was very, very on the edge for Matulik. And as we now ride on board with the front nose cone of Timo Coolan there. Coming through Sterling's, he is green in sector 1, but yellow in sector 2. So it'll be very interesting here to see how he takes Clark Curve. The final corner, will he take as much curb as Matulik did? No, he won't. So he doesn't want to lose too much time. But as he hugs the inside of the straight, he cuts wide, indicating he might be going for another lap as he goes up to P6.
Nice stuff there from Coolan. Let's follow Goodman as he comes to the line. Is it Saul Goodman? No, not quite. He'll stay in P15. But it is a personal improvement, at least, from Murat as Matchlick makes his way back out of the pits. Duval is on a hot lap once again on the run down into Graham Hill Bend. Can take a fair amount of curb on the exit there. Does scrub off a little bit of speed. But, of course, he gets you a slightly better line. It's an awkward corner. Turn 3, that left-hander. We'll wait to see what the sector time is going to be as he heads towards Pilgrim's Drop. And still waiting, and it is up by a 100th of a second. Now into Hawthorne's. So steep. It's so steep into this part of the racetrack, much steeper than it looks on your camera. Then the right-hander of Westfield and into Dingledale, a little bit too wide through there, but shouldn't cost him too much time. But when you look at how close they are at the top here, James, all these little margins, all these little errors are going to cost you.
Definitely. Oh, speaking of errors, runs it very wide there. He might have lost quite a lot of time. But yeah, definitely, Ross. You know, with how close they are, it's... You know, any small error, any small correction can cost you even pole here. But as you cross the line, he goes fastest. He goes fastest.
Wow.
By thousandths of a second. So even with taking all that grass he did at Sterling's, he still takes a provisional pole position ahead of Michulik, as Michulik is starting his flying lap again here. Let's see if he can beat Duval's time.
That was an amazing, amazing final sector from Anthony Duval. Is a bit deeper, but stays off of the Astro, keeps it on the curb, so that's okay for the time being. Doesn't take the V-line into Druids. That's interesting. Takes it much more like a traditional hairpin. Most drivers up at the top of the hill do tend to run it deep early doors, then cut it back in, and it's literally like a V. It's why it's called it a very aggressive late turn-in to kind of pitch yourself into as much of a straight line as possible back down the hill into Graham Hill Bend. So let's see what the sector split is going to be as we go under the MV Conquest Tunnel. And, well, looks okay immediately. Okay, half a tenth down is Matchlick, but that's a very solid run through Hawthorne as he goes over the bumps. This version of Brands Hatch was taken, was laser scanned before the resurfacing a couple of years ago, so it's ridiculously bumpy here. And in a modern Formula car, these cars, for context, about 10 seconds a lap quicker than a modern British F4 car around here at Brands Hatch. So they're very, very quick. They're set up very, very stiff. Bumps, they're not particular fans on. An amazing sector 2 from Matchlick, though. Looks clean through Clark Curve as well. All the way to the line. What's it going to be for Lucas? Should be provisional pole. Is not provisional pole. He's down in the final sector.
Yeah, I mean, the sector 2 obviously up, but he still couldn't find that time in sector 3 there. Obviously, he was definitely up until hitting sector 3, so he must have made a mistake. I mean, I say mistake, he was only a 10th off, but obviously not his quickest of the session. But here we have Davakos, who is 4 tenths down in the first sector, so this might not be the most competitive of laps, but I'm sure he will go for another one there. As Aman Lau, I've not seen this name yet in Academy. I could be completely wrong, but he is 3 tenths. Two green sectors there for Aman Lau there as he heads down into running it very wide. It seems to be a common theme there with the drivers here, running it quite wide at Sterling's, but I guess with the camber of the corner it does send the car wide quite a bit as Aman Lau heads down the main straight here. What is this lap time going to be? It's going to be P9, 6 tenths off, so that's solid mid-pack lap there for Lau.
Yeah, pretty solid standing at the moment as Matchlick. Oh, what a lap the Matchlick's on.
A flyer.
That's got to be provisional pole. That's definitely provisional pole. And that's a 10.5 clear advantage to Lucas after Duval took provisional pole moments ago by 4 thousandths of a second. Of course, in the Academy Series, you can just run the tyres down. Oh. That's not the way through that corner, but good save at least on the exit with a cheeky little 360. It is very similar, the tyre in the Academy Series, to a proper junior Formula tyre, in that it's not always a one-and-done kind of immediate shot, just push the tyre out again, as we see in GPVWC and the other series we're having, Formula Sprint, Superlight, Super League. It's a tyre where it does sometimes get quicker after a couple of laps. You need to get that heat into the tyre, you need to push it and just keep putting laps in. I think that's what we're seeing there from Matchlick. Let's see how the likes of Duval and Davakos respond. That's deep out of there from Ordonez as he goes out of Dingledale and a sheet curve. So I don't think it's going to be a lap time there for him. Noah Sparks seems to be on a good lap. Ordonez will follow him around. In fact, he's been awarded a cut track, so he won't be accounting that one. Sparks into pit lane.
Yeah, Ordonez wringing the neck out of that car, but yeah, as you say, he has invalidated his lap time. But here we have Davokos going around Druid here, starting another lap, maybe trying to challenge Machulek for that pole position, but we will have to wait and see. He's only 2 tenths off, so any improvement will be necessary here for Davokos as he heads down into Surtees, gets the car nice and straight here for Pilgrim's Drop, going just beneath the MV Conquest bridge here into the forest section of Brands Hatch, heading down into Hawthorns. Have to be very committed around this corner. We don't want to run it too wide. Couple corrections there, but it's understandable. Very bumpy track down into Westfield. Runs it very wide there, but I don't think much time was lost. He's 3 tenths down at the moment, so you have to be very, very committed around here to gain that time back. Green sector 2 though, so we have to be a very, very committed sector 3 here. Now heads down into Clark Curve. How committed will Davokos want to be? That looked very quick. Hug the inside. What's this lap going to be? He heads down to the line. It's not going to be an improvement. Still 4 tenths off. But Anthony Duval is improving by 2 tenths, Ross.
What a sector 1 from Anthony Duval. Let's see if he can keep it up for the rest of the lap, because this could be the one as we ride on board into Sheen Curve. Only 2 to go. It's slightly down in sector. It's actually massively down in sector number 2. He will get another lap in if he wants to stay on it and push, but that is monstrous through the opening part of this racetrack, through most of the Indy circuit, as sector 1 is here in our factor 2. Comes to the line. Is that good enough for pole position? Wow, what a sector 3 as well. Goes nearly a 10th clear, and there's time on the table as well. But that's going to be the last lap for Anthony Duval as he meets the wall and Paddock Hill Bend. So it's all now on Machulek and Davokos. Duval's not going to improve anymore.
At all, not at all. That was an incredible last sector there for Duval. Getting all that time back, but Machulek's on an even quicker lap. It's going down to the wire here as Machulek, he's going to have to nail this final corner, Clark Curve. He wants to keep as much speed as possible, running the car nice and wide. That looked quick there from Machulek. Down the main straight, he's hugging the inside as much as possible. Maybe not, he's going to cut outside, maybe to try another lap. He's gone quickest, and what a lap there from Machulek, and I think he's even going to try and go for another one.
He could well keep. There may still be time on the table. What about Sergei Soroka? What's he going to do? He may have just started another lap as well, and indeed he has, but looks like he's offline a little bit coming out of Graham Hills. Amara even also on a lap. Let's see what the sector splits are going to be. Amara's up in sector 1. What about Sergei Soroka? Oh, he's well off. That's not going to be an improvement at all from the Ukrainian. So that could be pole position potentially done and dusted for Lukas Machulek. He's also pushing on and has set up green at sector 1. In fact, it's purple through sector 1. Looks like Raceview's lying to me. Oh, that gets it big time wrong into Westfield. And that's going to be the wall at Dingledale. But it is still provisional pole for the time being as the checkered flag comes out. And we wait to see if anyone can pip him to the line. Soroka certainly won't.
Not at all there. Lucas, obviously, he got a really quick first sector, and I think he was really just trying to push the car as hard as possible to extend the gap between him and Duval, but if you push him too hard, that's how you pay the price. But Davokos now crosses the line, was P3 and now he's P5, but Lal as well, sorry, he's in P4 now. I don't remember seeing that happen, but Lal has gone up into P4, so very good lap there. But here we have Tim Coos there in P9, 7 tenths off, as this is a new driver that is John, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Shinkis, I think. I'm really sorry if I butchered that, but no lap set there for that driver. But Tim Coos now round the final corner, Clark Curve, green in both sectors. Going to hug the inside of the track, or maybe not. What's it going to be? P7, so it's an improvement, and pips himself ahead of Mano Manikandan. And I believe that is the last of our laps here in Academy qualifying.
Should be. Looks like it's Murat Shingis, according to Lorenzo Etrovic-Funcic, who's just come in to give us a helping hand here in the commentary box. No idea why his full name isn't showing. But that will be it then. It is Machulek on pole from Duval, from Soroka, as your top 3. Then it's Amon Lowell, Georgios Davakos, and Sofian Amara, Tim Kroos and Mano Manikandan on row 4, Timo Kuhlen and Jason Brewer rounding out your top 10 here at Brands Hatch. Really, really tight at the top. Matchlik and Deval only separated by less than a tenth of a second. Hardly surprising given how tight they've been all season long. Further down in the grid, we've got Savelli, Kochkov, Sukac, Jacob Adonis, Loza Mateo, Martin Reitberg, Pablo Mata, Noah Sparks, Murat Goodman, and then a no lap set for Murat Shingis, and apparently no lap set for RD Chris. Of course, that being Chris, our race director this evening. Don't worry, he is definitely not going to be setting any lap times in this one, I'm sure. So that is our 18 driver grid heading into race number 1. 16 laps to look forward to in this one, James, and should be pretty interesting. Very tight at the top once again. I think it's safe to say, though, heading into race number 1, Paddock Hill Bend is probably going to be pretty chaotic on the opening tour. We've got 22 degrees air temp. It's not as warm as it has been over the last couple of days here in Europe. 40.8 degree track temperature. That's quite warm, so tyres could be something we need to watch out for towards the latter phases of the race.
Definitely. I mean, as you're well aware, Ross, it's been very hot in the UK recently. It's only just started to cool down. It's only just started to cool down, but yeah, it is still quite hot out there. And tyres, especially on a track like this, where you're always putting pressure on those tyres, you will need to be careful with them towards the end. I mean, 16 laps, you should be fine in Academy. Unless you are completely wringing the neck out of the tyres, then you will need to be careful. But yeah, no, totally. This will be very interesting. Excited to see Paddock Hill, lap 1, Academy. This is going to be very interesting. Obviously, the big drop. Everyone trying to go side by side. You know, if there isn't contact, I'll be very, very surprised. But I'd also be very, very surprised if there, I won't be surprised if there is, because it's a very difficult corner to get right on the first lap.
Yeah, certainly is. Of course, lots of bumps in the way and very tricky to pick your braking. So I do have to modulate the brakes a lot into that corner, even on the first lap when you're approaching at a far lesser rate of knots than you would be on a proper flying lap out there in the race. But again, the corner is slightly off camber, drops away from you. It's quite wide on the entry, but then narrows out as all the lines begin to converge. So who knows, quite frankly, what is going to happen as we do get underway in our 10-minute warm-up session. So a little bit of time to get yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and get comfortable before 2 16-lap races of GPVWC Academy Series action here, the 9th round of Academy here in 2026. Of course, if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe on the stream. Of course, help promote the championship. If this is your first time watching GPVWC, make sure you head down to the links in the description, the website, and the Discord to figure out how to get involved and find out what we do here and to try and maybe get yourself onto the ladder and compete against the very best of the best in our Factor 2 sim racing. But a little bit of time now as RD Chris, our race director, still just sitting there comfortably and not coming out on a lap. Yeah, I don't know why he would go out on a lap. I guess he could if he wanted to. But yeah,
it would be great.
Chilling.
It would certainly be interesting, let's put it that way. But yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's so exciting. If you are interested, do get involved. It's a great way to get your name out there. And yeah, you can be racing with these guys for your first Academy race. But it's such a difficult track. Again, it drops away from your Paddock Hill, and then you've got the heavy braking zone in Druids for the lap 1, and with all those cars clambering down, 18 of them, I believe, especially with the new driver turning up towards the end of qualifying, it will certainly be an interesting sight to see, and hopefully everyone will make it through lap 1 nice and clean.
Well, we've got our fingers crossed, don't we? We'll wait to see. Of course, the Academy Series, the first stepping stone into GPVWC competition, although it's not technically considered part of our proper championships. It's very much done on a race-by-race basis. It's certainly the proving grounds here at Grand Prix Virtual World Championship. And R Factor 2 as somebody decides that they don't want to be doing that lap anymore and finds the wall at Dingledale. Looks like that was Murat Goodman, and that was a pretty heavy off there coming through the Grand Prix loop. But of course, these guys, of course, some of them will be racing for fun, some of them will be trying to show their mettle, show what they're worth, and trying to entice those in Formula Sprint 2, Formula Sprint 1, Step 1 and 2 on our ladder proper, to show them what they can do and maybe entice them into a full season drive. And it is the starting ground, the proving ground for everyone here at GPVWC. And even now you get drivers that pop up out of nowhere, turn out they're quite good, and within a couple of races have got themselves a seat for the rest of the season up in the Formula Sprint. Sometimes you even get a jump straight into super lights as well. It's not unheard of, even if it is uncommon. So it's very much the proving ground, but you do get some very strong drivers in this series. It's not exactly like people just messing around and crashing into each other, even though it's Academy. That does sometimes happen out there here. And again, Brands Hatch as well. Could be an interesting one to see that unfold. But we'll wait to see how this is going to go in this one, with coming up to 6 minutes left in this practice session. 2 16-lap races awaiting us in this one, James, and should be very interesting. Do you think it's a case of basically survive Paddock Hill and Druids on lap 1 and then just get to the end, or do you think maybe there's something else in it along the way?
I think this track is quite difficult to overtake on, especially on cars that are this quick. So you want to be. It's a fine line, really. It's stuck between a rock and a hard place when navigating lap 1. Do you want to be that one driver who's aggressive and has the chance of causing a collision, or it coming out completely fine? Or do you want to just take it easy around Paddock Hill, let everyone else make the mistakes if they do, and then scythe your way through? It's a double-edged sword on lap 1 around this track, because obviously you want the track position, but at the same time you don't want to be making any silly mistakes going into the first few corners, because yeah, especially in the past of this track, both in real life and on sim, there have been some colossal accidents going through Paddock Hill and Druids because of the lap 1 incidents. But again, it's very difficult to get right. So especially in Academy, where not everyone, but a lot of people are new to this whole sim racing gig. So yeah, my advice would be to take it easy, especially, but everyone's different, so we will see. That's the beauty of lap 1, right, Ross? Some people take it easy, and some people just absolutely hammer it and send it from 30 miles back, try and gain the track position.
Yeah, my advice, stick it to the inside and just pin it, see what happens. You're the battleground and everybody else is your casualty. Yeah,
exactly.
Probably one of the most difficult turn 1s that we're going to have in Academy in 2026. It's a right pain of a corner. It is one of the most iconic corners in UK motorsport, of course, but it's difficult to get right at the best of times, let alone when you're flying in there with 18 other cars all vying for position and trying to make their way quickly through at the opening of the race. But Brands is a tricky circuit as well. I think we are going to see a fair few retirements and incidents all across both of our races this evening. And again, in warm-up, we've seen lots of people meeting the barrier, if not at least running it a bit deep at a fair few corners. 3 minutes and 30 left to go before we get ready to go racing for the first time this evening out of 2. And we're quickly approaching 8 o'clock here, British summer term, and it's still light out. Oh God, how I hate summer. While it's all the status quo here in the GPV Academy series, it's all change over at the World Cup. Brazil in the 96th minute have just made it 2-1 ahead of Japan. And it looks like they'll be advancing through to the next knockout round. Gabriel Martinelli with a late goal. And Amir Oates on the cameras.
Amir's very upset.
We can hear him. Yeah, he's not impressed with that one. The Japanese dream is over. Brazil looking like they're advancing.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Was it 6 plus 9?
Yeah, 96 minutes.
Ah, wow.
Of course, do have to factor in the hydration break into that one, but yes.
Of course you do. I think what we need is a hydration break in Academy. I think everyone needs to everyone needs to pull over lap 8. Everyone pull over lap 8 and everyone has a hydration break.
Yeah, everyone. Mandatory 2-minute stop-go penalty for everybody on lap 8 while we can, you know, go, this race brought to you by whoever, I don't know. Go to some ad breaks or whatever. We'll show the TV commentary advert again or something, I don't know.
Say.
Oh, you know what, I can't pack it. Are we going to America at some point again this year in Academy? If we are, absolutely, let's do it. Let's introduce a gimmick for that round. Let's have a hydration break. Everyone has to have a 2-minute stop go. There you go, there's go. We're going to the Netherlands, Germany, and Poland, and that's all we've got confirmed so far. Although Poland is Tor Poznan, which is going to be sick. So be there for that one on the 10th of August. I'm really excited for that one. But no America just yet, so no hydration breaks. What is even the point of it all? Will Panisi wrap the series up now?
Definitely. End it. Just no more past 2026. Sorry. No hydration break.
That can be the big announcement at GPV Day. Of course, there's a big announcement every year. This year could be, you know what, lads, I've had enough. We're done. Just pack it up. Go somewhere else. Go do Le Mans Ultimate. Most of you are going over there anyway. It's been real. Good night. And you know, just get everyone the tequila that we always get, and then just vanish off into the night. And again, you might see him on TV behind Nico Hulkenberg in the future. No one ever hears from Will Panisi again.
Anyway, we are now a minute away from race 1 here in Academy. We are a minute away. Yes, we're a minute away. I sound like I'm talking to myself. Amir is... Yeah, anyway. It's a good thing this is the warm-up. Yes, 40 seconds until race 1 here, ladies and gents. Any predictions, Ross?
Pain and suffering. No, in all seriousness, that's what I'm going to say. I'm expecting the front runners to be pretty close together in this one. So expecting Matchalik, Soroka, Duval all to be pretty quick from the gate. But yeah, I think it's very much going to be a case of, I think we can't really call it until after turn 1. It's one of those corners that even in real life you often get chaos. Here at Brands Hatch at Paddock Hill in turn 1 on the opening lap. In sim racing, I think it's up there with turn 1 at Monza, where you're almost like there's almost a 0% chance that everyone's going to make it through cleanly. When everyone does make it through cleanly, it's literally the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen in your life. So I think it's very much a case of, although I can say, yes, you like to Soroka, Matchalik, they're going to do well in this race. Let's just wait until we've got onto the Grand Prix loop on the first lap before we can really start to make predictions, because it could well be that everyone takes each other out at turn 1. We'll just have to wait and see.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I agree with that, and yeah, exactly. I've got literally nothing else to say to that, Ross. You've answered everything that I could have asked for. But we have a late entrant here as well.
Oh my God!
You've seen. We have a late entrant. Elliot Vega has joined. American driver. So he's joined. Obviously, I'm not sure if he'll be starting from the pit lane or on the grid, because he didn't do quali. But it is a late entrant, so that makes it, come on maths, 19. There we go. 19 cars. Because I was trying to take away RD Chris, but how dare I? Yeah, so 19 drivers then. So going to be an interesting that one.
And it will be, and again, American, I think we've basically got every driver on the grid, bar a couple, representing a different nation out there as well, which is, that's always great to see. I love the fact that sim racing brings the whole world together and can put everyone out there, and you don't have to worry about, I come from, a smaller country and therefore got no budget to make it in world motorsport. You can just go out there and enjoy it. We've got Anthony Duval from St. Lucia, a couple of Germans in Tim Kroos, Timo Kulan, and Jason Brewer, Murat Goodman from Turkey, Soroka, Ukrainian, Vega, as you mentioned, a Yank, unfortunately, Matteo Lotta, Italian, Lucas Matchalik himself from the Czech Republic / Czechia, depends what you want to call it. Amar is French, Devarkos Greek, obviously. Rietberg is from the Netherlands. Shingis is a Kazakh. Aman Lala, sole British representation out there, if he is out there. Actually, I don't remember seeing him qualifying. So we got a huge different mix and match of drivers from all different backgrounds coming into this one, but it should be a lot of fun as we're ready on the grid.
Definitely, it's like the Academy World Cup. We've got all all different countries here. That's again, as you say, it's great to see. Yeah, so formation lap should be getting underway very shortly, and we are off. So let's give the grid rundown for the race 1 here in Brands Hatch. So
Yeah.
just waiting for the graphic to pull itself up. There we go. Look at that. Right. Lucas Michulik takes pole position for race 1 ahead of Anthony Duval in P2. Sergei Soroka P3 with Amin Lau with a very late lap in P4. Georgios Stavrakos starts P5, Sofina Mara starts P6, Tim Coops in P7, and Mano Manikandan starts P8. In P9, Timo Kulan. In P10, we've got Jason Brewer. P11, Saveli Kochetov-Sukak, and in P12, we've got Jacob Ordonez. P13, Loza Mateo, and P14, we've got Martin Reitberg. Pablo Mata is P15 with Knox in P16. P17, we have Murat Goodman. In P18, we have Shinjiz Singi. I'm really sorry. And in P19, I'm not sure if he's on the grid or not. Might be something a bit late, but we have Elliot Vega rounding off the grid. And I mean, if RD Chris would love to race, he'd be starting with 20, but I don't think we're seeing him on the track.
Well, he did say he's not even got his wheel plugged in, but you know, keyboard warrior could try and give it a go. Jacques Villeneuve, if you cast your mind back to COVID, he's not a sim racer, but a big fan of racing video games. And when they did all the pro sim racing stuff over COVID, and he was quite competitive on a controller in R-Factor 2 at that time. So never say never. If Jacques Villeneuve can do it, I'm sure that Chris can do it as well.
Definitely. Yeah, 100%. Anyway, we have everyone lining up on the grid here. So hopefully, is anyone going to try any tactics? I hardly doubt it. But is Elliot Vega going to be on the grid? He is. Elliot Vega, even though he didn't compete in quali, he'll be starting on the grid for the race here. But Elliot Vega now, we are last car to join the back of this grid as we are about to go underway here as someone's struggling a little bit there at the back to park up, but we now ride on board Lucas Michulik before the lights go out. Just waiting here. Here we go, the lights are on, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red shining lights, and the lights are out here, and Michulik looks to have gotten a good start. He has indeed. So Michulik is very far ahead of Duval as they head down into Paddock Hill Bend. Is everyone going to survive the manic turn 1 here? I can't see anyone backwards. Seems like everyone survived as that's a big send there from Lau. Trying to go down the inside of the road. A little bit of contact there from Druid, but there was a little bit of a gravel kicks up there. I think someone has gone round. There's a Sukak there as I see him dropping down the grid. As a few cars running wide in the back there. I'm not sure about Timo Kulan there getting pushed off. They're going to drive 3 wide through Surtees there. Is everyone please stay clean, guys? There we go. So it's all good now as they head down through Pilgrim's Drop. There's all a bit of dust being kicked up there from Jacob Ordonez there. Is Timo Kulan going to try and send one? No, of course he isn't. He's not going to try one through there. But it's speaking of, I think someone has tried one through there. Martin Reitberg kicks up a lot of dust ahead of Mato, I believe that is, just behind him. But Michulik leads by 6/10 coming towards the end of lap 1, Ross.
Hats off Academy Series. No one's out of this race on lap number 1. Colour me impressed, I guess. But at the front, Michulik and Duval are starting to break away from the rest of the pack. Here we see Lau trying to hunt down the Ukrainian Soroka for P3 in the final podium position. Michulik, as I say, he was trying to break with Duval. He himself is nearly breaking out of the 1 second margin of Duval as they head through Druids. And may well already done it. So Lucas Michulik already laying his cards on the table early. That's his game plan. Break away early doors and then manage the race from there. Similar to what we've seen across this season, but never say never at Brands Hatch. It could all change just from catching a bump a little bit uncomfortably or clipping a curb where you're not supposed to. It can put you out of the race at worst. At the very best, it can make you lose a lot of time. Amara too far back for a move on Lal on this occasion. Will stay single file through Hawthorns for the time being. Dirtier, seemingly not too much of an issue for most of these drivers at the moment. Someone wide there out of Westfields, and his cost him time must have been Lal. as they take a very liberal view of track limits coming through Sheen's and then into Sterling's. That's all off the road. That's Soroka. That's going to cost him down the run into Clearways. Going to have to try and break the toe and weave away into Clark Curve. He can be under big pressure. As that being said, Lal gets it wrong. Side by side, that's going to be position gain surely for Amara into Paddock Hill.
Yeah, so Amara goes through on Adam Lal there. Ooh, back end kicks up to Paddock Hill bend. Very easy to do that with the camber of that corner. But Lucas Matulak setting the fastest lap. He is checking out at the moment, but Deval is trying to keep him as honest as he can. We now ride on board with Lal heading down into Graham Hill bend to try and keep on the back of Amara there as they now head down into Surtees. Nice wide line. You want to take a late apex, just missing it there for Lal, so it won't be the greatest exit, but going to be trying to keep Amara honest, as Amara has gained 2 positions from the start as well. So a very good start from Amara, as Mission is now on track. Same with Mateo as well, going up 4 into P9, just by Mano Way. Lal running just a little bit wide there through Hawthorns, but again, Dirty Air might be playing into effect here, as Lal is struggling to keep behind Amara. As they now head down through Dingle, Adele here, and there's lots of dust being kicked up as well. I think drivers can sometimes forget how narrow this track is, or they do know how narrow this track is, and they're trying to ebb as much time as possible. So again, as you say, Ross, trying to make their own interpretation of the track limits. But Davakos here looking very feisty behind the back of Alabama. That's a car round. That is a car round backwards in Dingledale there. Rejoined safely.
Yeah, Shingus, that's Murat Shingus that's gone round there. He'll be okay as he makes his way out onto the circuit. Still in front of Vega and Mata, but down to P17, and now that's a long way back for him if he wants to get back into a fight with some other cars.
Definitely, and you know, quite easy to roll. Adam Lau, he's struggling quite a lot in race pace here. Runs quite wide, but leaves just enough room for Davakos. But Davakos' back end kicks out there, and Adam Lau holds on to P5 there. Again, back end kicking out around this track. It's hardly surprising. I mean, as we know, it's a very bumpy track. The scan was done when the track was quite bumpy, so this car's vibrating quite a lot. Let's car backwards to Soroka. Soroka's off.
The Ukrainian's got it big time wrong. That's coming up through Sheen Curve. So he drops down to Pito. No, in fact, it was actually at Hawthorns. That's a lot earlier than I thought it was going to be. So he's lost a lot of time. Shouldn't have cooked the tyres too much, but it will be a dent to the confidence of the Ukrainian. Let's see if he can work his way back through the field and try and get a top 10 at least. At the front, Machalik 2 seconds clear of Duval.
Yeah, Ordonez dropping quite a lot there on the timing sheet. I wonder if he's made a mistake somewhere. He's dropping down, further down the grid there. I think he might have hit a wall, or oh, there we go. I think he's still going around. He's still got all his car parts on the car, but it must have been a mistake through. The dust kicks up there, might be from Amara, but yeah, so Ordonez dropping loads of positions there. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see if Soroka can make his way through the grid. Noah Sparks going very defensive there behind Koshitov Sukak, who I do believe made a mistake on lap 1. Very, very defensive there from Noah Sparks. They head down to Druids, but Koshitov Sukak going very deep. He's just getting a bit of contact there with the back of Murat Goodman. They're going to try and go side by side, heading down into Graham Hill Bend. Is Murat Goodman going to try and hold on there? No. Round the outside goes Koshitov Sukak on his, let's call it a nice little redemption there after making a bit of, he spun maybe, ran through Druids. But yeah, through both Sparks and Goodman there, through both Paddock, Hill Bend, Druids and Graham Hill.
Yeah, nice stuff through their lap 5 of 16 here in race number 1. And looks like Jason Brewer looking to try and launch a move on Lotto Matteo well into the toe on the run into Clearways. Is there anything into Clark Curve? No, decides against it on that occasion, but will try to set it up into Paddock Hill surely. But doesn't look like he's got that great of a run onto the main straight. And may have to settle for position, in fact, and indeed he will do so. It does get a better run and then some through Paddock Hill, oh, over the curbs and scrubs off that momentum, scrubs off the speed. That was an opportunity and a half if he kept it clean up into Druids. But looks like Brewer will just have to stay in the wheel tracks of the Italian in front for the time being. A little bit off the road further in front. That looks like Manikangan, but look, he seems to have got away with it and it's A-OK for the time being. Back to the Grand Prix loop very, very quickly. These cars almost quit a bit too quick for this racetrack, to be honest. Such a short lap round here for these guys. It's flying by here in GPVWC Academy. And Brewer, nothing quite yet as they go through Hawthorns.
Absolutely. Brewer keeping Matteo honest though, as he gets a very good run through there, but this track is so difficult to overtake on, Ross. So I'll be very impressed if a move can be made in any of these corners here without having to maybe barge your way through a little bit. But as Martin Reitberg sandwiched there, speaking of the devil there, Brewer right on the back of Matteo. Matteo seems like he's gone a little bit deep there going through Park Curve. Is Brewer going to have an opportunity going into Paddock Bend? But I don't believe so, because obviously Paddock Bend, medium speed corner, and you need to be very close to the car ahead. But if you get a good exit through here, maybe you can look at Ascend going into Druids. Is he going to try it? No, he's too far back. But Matteo with the back of, I believe, the Italian, now heading down into Graham Hill Bend, running it very wide onto the grass. Brewer can capitalise on that as immediately there's certainty he's going into the GP circuit.
Wait to see if Brewer can get a run this time. Looks like he has got the toe as they head into Pilgrim's Drop. Surely a look to the inside in Hawthorns, or maybe the outside is Matteo. Super aggressive in the defensive to keep the German behind. A little bit of a slide there from Brewer, all four wheels off the road, but he's pointing in the right direction this time. Into the gravel on the exit of Westfield. He'll drop behind Timo Kuhlen, his countryman, and now will cost him a lot of time as a result. Jason Brewer tried desperately to keep the momentum going, but a bit too much speed into the right-hander, and he drops a place as a result when he could have been up in P8.
Yeah, definitely. Matteo did play his car very well going to Hawthorns. Oh dear, that's Elliot Vega in the wall. He didn't do qualifying, and he is out. I'm not sure how it happened, but we're going to get a replay. Look at that. Academy replay, ladies and gents. Here we go, let's have a look. That's breaking a little bit too late there, my friend. And unfortunately, that is a wall. Await you, let's have a look. Yeah,
yeah? Okay.
very late break in there, my friend, but yeah, he didn't do quality, so that is understandable. We'll get a replay of what happened to Krzysztof Sukak here. Was it like I expected? Was it a mistake? It wasn't a mistake, he got pushed off there. He went very wide and into the gravel, and that's going to spin you around.
Does very well to keep it out of the wall, to be fair. That could have been a DNF right there at turn number 2. Just nudged off, no real fault of his own at all. But yeah, not as well to keep it there. And even if he's now running towards the back as a result, the fact he's still in the race, well played.
Definitely, and very well as well to just put the brakes on to just make sure you don't careen back into all the other cars as well. But yeah, no, very well held there. But it's Lau on the back of Amara here. So this is looking like a battle for P3. But lap 6 out of 16, Ross. This is going very quick. Matteo's out.
Oh, wow, okay, lots of Matteo. Looks like the front wing's still on the car from the onboard. We'll get a replay here of what's gone on the run into Drift. Oh, it's the same thing. Just missed the braking zone, so front wing lost to Mata. So that's Mata even. So Mata's also gone, but that's a similar thing to what we saw earlier on. What happened to Matteo?
I wonder what's going on there, because that's another driver that's braking really late for Druids. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what this phenomenon is called, but you know, oh hello, Lau right on the back of Amara. Oh, that's very ambitious there. Oh, crikey, backed out there. But yeah, that could have ended very nastily if Lau didn't back out there, Ross.
Well, it was aggressive from Lau, to be fair, but even more aggressive from Amara on the defensive as well, borderline being rude, but he'll get away with it, I'm sure. Lau did have to back out of it on the run into Hawthorns, just getting pushed all the way to the inside. Would have had to been hard on the anchors to make the corner anyway if he was trying to make the move. Here's what happened to Lotso Matteo, who's now down in 17. Oh, it's a disconnect. Yeah, that's a real shame for Lotso Matteo.
Any sim driver's worst nightmare. This is
happens to everyone though. That's the thing. It's I always like to put it as it's the mechanical failure of sim racing. Of course, even in R Factor 2, as Devarkos is in the wall of Paddock Hill and out. This is turning into a race of attrition very quickly here. The Greek driver has lost it early doors at Paddock Hill Bend. Goodman's gone for a spin out on the run out of Graham Hills and has also met the barrier. But Devarkos there, if Goodman may or may not still be in the race, though, he's gone as well. He's lost it very early. Oh, he's braked on the grass. Oh, what are you doing, Kyorgios? Such an easy mistake to make, but gets it wrong, runs out way too deep, touches the grass, and just plows into the wall.
I tell you what, though, I have done that once in a blue moon on this track. It's so easily done, and you know, you're trying to get as much, you know, try and run the car as wide as possible, and sometimes you do hit the grass and it takes you with you. And unfortunately, Davocross found out the hard way what happens when you get paddock kill wrong. But yeah, oh, there's more incidents. Conscious of Sukak is missing a front wing here, Ross.
Good to have you back, Academy. I was wondering where you were for about 7 or 8 laps here. What's happened there? That's down in the Grand Prix loop. That's probably coming out of Hawthorns, maybe. You know, that looks clean. So, yeah, it'll be Westfield. He's probably gone a bit wide and then spun off through the right-hander. Yes, it runs it wide. Probably, just doesn't even try to rejoin the circuit. Just smashes into the wall there at Dingledale. There was probably a virtual cameraman there who now has a very broken body underneath him. So condolences to that individual. Here's Noah Sparks. What's happened to him coming through? Oh, the left-hander run it wide and it's bit back as well. Well saved. May have touched the barrier on the inside, but ran it back. Tried to correct it. Bit on the correction, then tried to correct it the other way, and then bit backwards to send him to the inside barrier as well. Lucas Matchlick now has a 7-second advantage at the front of the pack and probably has no idea the chaos that's going on behind him. Was there a gravel being kicked up there? No, literally look a bit. Kicked up there, no. And who's that that's gone off? Is that Anthony Duval? And he's got no front wing. Oh, my word.
What is oil on the track? What's going on? What's going on?
I just am at a loss for words. Anthony Duval at least can make it back to the pit lane for a fresh front wing and presumably some new rubber as well. He can try and hope to try and get his way back into the top 10, but it's a mountain to climb with how long he'll lose in the pits. What's happened here? That's coming through Dingledale into Sheens, and he's just taken to... No, he's lost it, actually. It's Sterling's. Yeah, grasping the way into Sterling's and just straight on. Oh, wow. Lucky he's not out of the race. That's a hard impact into the tyre barriers there. Just a lapse of concentration on the run into the left-hander, and lucky to be in it, but Anthony Duval, a little bit of a schoolboy error, but got away with it still.
Yeah, again, you hit the grass on this track, and it just takes you with you. You know, you're a passenger at that point, and you know, especially if you're trying to brake and turn, it's, you know, you get no grip on grass. Obviously, I shouldn't have to tell the drivers that, but you know, to viewers that may not understand, you know, you brake a few wheels on the grass and just straight into the wall. You don't have as much grip, so you will lose the car. But the battle is what was a battle for P3 is now, Ross, a battle for P2 here. So both of these drivers on the podium, but will one of them want to stand higher than the other?
Well, you'd think that Lal will certainly want to get up onto the slightly more elevated step, wouldn't you? But Amara will want to stay on said slightly more elevated step here at Brands Hatch, so we'll wait to see. Amara's been running pretty solidly so far in this race, to be fair. Last lap time, though, a little bit off of it compared to Lal behind, so maybe just starting to smell a little bit of blood is the P3 driver making their way onto the Grand Prix loop, lap 13 of 16. Time is running out as well, so maybe drivers starting to turn the wick up just a bit late in the day, starting to take a few more risks. Well, I think it's safe to say we've seen that already, given how many people have met the wall over the last couple of laps, or certainly gone off the racetrack anyway. But Aman Lal will be staring at that gearbox of Sophia and Amara and thinking, okay, now I can analyse. I'm close enough to not make a move, but think about a move. Let's analyse, see where I'm strongest, see where they're stronger, see where I need to set that move up into the next couple of laps. If you're thinking smartly, thinking strategically, you want it to happen on the last lap as well, to give Amara the least possible amount of time to come back at you, because you're not going to catch Lucas Matchalik unless he makes a mistake. This is very much a fight for second place. May as well just sit comfortable, save rubber as much as you can, make the move on the last lap, and then the driver in front has no way to respond if you do go through them.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, it just seemed like every time we come out of a replay, there's a car in the wall. Oh, Machulik's gone! Machulik's out!
This is a fight for the lead. What has happened to Lucas Machulik, who's dominated this race?
Cursed it, Ross. What's happened? Is it disconnect?
What?
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
Oh no. Oh no.
Lucas Machulik has been sent to purgatory.
I was told the track was bumpy, but I didn't think it was this bumpy. Oh no! Oh, Lucas! Oh, no, that is no. That's heartbreak.
Talk about heartbreak. More like breaking bones the way he's just barrel rolled into the infield. He's probably taken out about 20 spectators as well on his way through there. I mean, the guy's been sent into the nether zone. The racing gods decided it was his time.
I'm not sure what to say about that.
I do. It means that the fight for second to battle for the lead now late in the race. What a curveball!
What the? This is just not. Wow. Okay. Well. That is. Oh, there's a car off there. There's cars everywhere. What's going on? I mean, it's academy, but oh my goodness, there's just been.
But where are you going? Who even is that? It's just Shingus. Yeah, decided he wanted to take the Indy layout. Not quite. We're on the penultimate lap. Oh, Lowell's got through Amara as well in the meanwhile. This is now a fight for the race lead. I just don't even know anymore. I'm so sick of Brands Hatch. That is just another. You know just I can't.
Never again. But no, that is wow. I mean, great for Lal and Amara, obviously, but Lucas, that is just terribly, terribly unlucky. I mean, he had that in the bag there. It's fair to say. You know, but. At the end of the day, I think anyone who's watching this knows that he is, at the moment, an incredible, incredible driver, and any FS2 team would be lucky to have him on their squad. So, you know, it's just so unlucky that that's happened there. But again, we move on to the final lap here, and there is a battle for the lead with Lal and Amara.
There is indeed. Maybe we'll get another look at what happened to Matchalik post-race so we could just all marvel in the glory and the spectacle of it. But right now we're marveling in the glory of the spectacle of what is now a fight for the race lead as they head onto the Grand Prix loop for the final time. Law 4/10 to the good coming into Pilgrim's Drop. Amara will get the toe, but will be too far back into Hawthorns. Needs a good run through the Grand Prix section to maybe try and set a move up into Clark Curve. That's the only real overtaking move left. Oh, and Amara's got off the road and will meet the barrier. Oh, just about saves it.
Wow, yeah, that's dirty air, pushing hard. That's what happens, and unfortunately, Amara is not out of the race, but out of that battle for the lead there. But Lal will now round the final corner in an absolute crazy coolings out as well. But anyway, Lal is going to come down the main straight and win race one here in Brands Hatch with Amara second and Timo Kus in Tim Kus in P3 there. Mani Kandan crosses the line in P4 as well. He'll come through just ahead of Brewer, who ran the final corner ahead of Soroka. But Kulan's out. Haven't a clue how that's happened, but I'm sure we'll see a replay soon. Brewer crossed the line just ahead of Soroka. And yeah, what a crazy, crazy race. Seemed like the first half, things were going nice and smoothly, and then afterwards, everything just hit the fan there.
Did indeed. This is what happened to Timo Kulan, the German, just making his way through Dingle Dell here on the final lap. Oh, and he's just gone straight back to the pit lane, so that'll be a disconnect, or he's fat-fingered the escape key on his keyboard somehow. I probably doubt it's the latter, to be honest. It is a home victory for Lalvo here at Brands Hatch in race number one. A huge congratulations to him. A bit of luck, of course, after our race leader in Lucas Matchlik decided to do tricks at him for free. No down payment required. But you can't complain. The racing gods sometimes send a bit of luck your way, and a man Lal will stand alone on top of the podium at the end of race one here. Amara and Cruz rounding out our podium places.
Absolutely, and there's been a whole host of DNFs there, as you viewers back at home can see. But it seems like Timo Kulan finished P7 though. I'm really confused by that. Anyway, I'll just go off with what my timing sheet says here. So. Lau then winning race one here in Brands Hatch. Safina Amara in P2 with Tim Kus rounding off the podium positions in P3. Mani Kandan in P4 with Jason Brewer P5. Sergei Soroka in P6 after a decent recovery there after that initial spin in the first few laps. Noah Sparks P7 with Jacob Ordonez P8 and Sveti Kochtov-Sukak in P9. sure if... There we go. Right, Martin Weitberg in P10, rounding off the top 10. Anthony Duval in P11. This is the beginning of our DNFs, I believe. Murat Chingiz in P13. Michulik P14. Unfortunately, with that awful DNF. Mateo P15. Davokos in 16th. Murat Good in 17th. Mateo 18th. And rounding off the grid is Vega, who's our first retirement of the race.
And it looks like, unfortunately, RD Chris Williamson not even classified at the end of that one. What a shame. But wow, that was that was certainly something here at Brands Hatch in race number 1. Again, we all thought it was going to be chaotic in the opening laps. It was actually pretty calm, especially for Academy Series over the opening half of this race. And then everyone just decided they didn't want to do it anymore. So yeah, we'll wait to see what race 2 has in store, I guess.
I mean, this was the sort of track that I expected everything to hit the fan in the first 5 or 6 laps, not the other way around. Not everything to be clean on the first lap, and then, you know, after, let's say, lap 8, everything just seemed to go, well, crazy, let's say. But no, at the end of that, Lal is the victor, the survivor. Out of the 10 that have crossed the line. But yeah, that was some race to say the least.
It certainly was. And of course, we get to go again for race 2 in a little bit of time as well. Another 16 lapper to indulge ourselves in here this evening, the 29th of June on 2026. Brazil have beaten Japan 2-1. But here, there's still another race to decide the results. I don't know why I'm doing a Richard Keys impression. Sorry, I'm quite tired. But yes, a really interesting race there. Certainly chaotic, but it's Academy Series. We've come to expect it. And when Lal takes home victory here at Brands Hatch in race number 1. And, well, let's hope maybe... Well, I say hope. Let's hope that it's a bit calmer in race 2. But quite frankly, I'm just going to stop talking because I don't think that's going to be the case. So we'll wait.
I'm reading that in the chat as well. Apparently, Timo Kuhlen caught fire.
Did he?
I didn't see that, but maybe. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think we'll be cutting to a short little break now. Oh wait, no, never mind. We'll be watching a replay of what happened to Timo Kuhlen. Yeah, let's see here then. So it's broken. That was not. No.
Oh no. That has started a forest fire. That's a very expensive barbecue right there.
That's a very expensive barbecue. Oh my goodness. Yes. So move on to the man with the TV. I think I'll get some burgers off of this guy during the break. I think.
Inside a place of on the next deck. Kelty seat, the coffee beanery, Tyrek.
Flat out. Oh no! Oh no! Who's round? It's Magnussen. Oh, it's going to be a touch moment. It's in the barrier. Oh, they spun. Oh, it's a carnage.
And Menocon's going to win.
God.
It's a double pass. Could they take each other off? They don't. And Flack slide. It's a victory for the Tuties.
They touch. They're now. Oh no!
Soriano's gone around and met the wall. Mitchell will go through.
Does it go uphill into turn 4? Oh, round the outside. What a fabulous move.
Frelick will use all of his as well. Here he comes. He makes a move. They touch. They run wide. Munio's going to get it.
We're going 3 wide. Look at
Tyne. Contact. Oh my goodness. Tyne has lost a wheel.
Tyne's out.
The dramatic race that we were teeing up the entire time has come to an end.
Oh. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all grabbed your popcorn, grabbed your sodas, and all the stuff you like eating while watching races with. We are back for race 2 here at Brands Hatch after quite an interesting race 1, I think it's fair to say, Ross.
No, I thought it was quite boring, to be honest. Nothing happened. It was a procession. It was just, you know, single file all the way to the end. Yes. No, that was certainly something.
Okay. Sorry for the abrupt cut there, ladies and gents, but the intro had to be played.
Professional broadcast standards here at GPVWC.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, as we start the formation lap here, we'll give you the rundown. The race 2 reverse grid. So Timo Kuhlen starts on pole position, followed by Anthony Duval. So Anthony Duval starts P2 in race 1, will start P2 again here in race 2. Martin Reitberg starts P3 with Kochtov Sukak in P4, Jacob Ordonez P5 with Noah Sparks in P6, Sergei Soroka P7 with Brewer P8. That is not ideal. Oh, there's a bit of lagging going on there from the car ahead, or lagging for everyone actually. Manan Manikanda starts P9 with Tim Coos in P10. Safina Armara starts P11 with Lau in P12. Shinji starts Murat Shinji starts P13 with Lucas Pachulik after that very unfortunate race 1. Starts in P14. Lazare Mateo starts P15 with Georgios Davrakos in P16. Murat Goodman starts P17, Pablo Mata P18. Elliot Vega in P19 with a new entrant it seems, Andrea Jokovic in P20. And
then Chris in 21st.
And Chris in 21st. And Chris.
Yeah, just to add it to the end. I'll tell you what I'm really interested to see in this one, James, is what Lucas Matula can do. Of course, he had race 1 basically wrapped up until he decided to turn it to Tony Hawk through no fault of his own. Yep. But this is one that could do a lot for his stock. I'm sure that there'll be Formula Sprint 2 and 1 teams watching this because now he's starting deep in the pack. He's certainly got the pace to win the races here this evening. He's certainly the quickest driver in the field, but now he has to fight his way through the pack. The FS2, the FS1 teams that we're watching to see what he can do in traffic. This could be a really positive race for his career. Again, presuming that he makes the end.
Absolutely, and I think that's what the teams look out for. It's how you bounce back from situations like race 1. But as everyone lines up on the grid, we are on board with Timo Kuhlen. I assume to see the lights going out here. So here we go. We will wait the lights to go on. Oh, 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 red shining lights. And we are away there. It's a very slow getaway. Oh! What the? Anyway, lights are out. Timo Kuhlen heads down into Paddock Ben. There's a lot of lag going on there from Timo Kulan. Hopefully he'll sort that out soon. Anthony Duval now heads right behind him. He's going to try round the outside going into Druids. No, it's good status quo there between Kulan and Duval. Positive Sukak takes P3 away from Martin Reitberg as Reitberg drops down into P4. As it seems like everyone has gotten through cleanly like they did in race 1. Yes, I think everyone's doing cleanly there. As Noah Sparks and Manamani Kandan there as Shinji's
gets there.
from the race. Yep, so Shinji's is out. Has all bit of contact there, but Positive Sukat now is going to try and round the outside of Anthony Duval here, Ross.
Looks for a go into Hawthorne's, that'll be brave against an contact round, goes Duval into the wall, nearly just about holds it, it will drop down to P5 on the run into Westfield, someone else off the road, that is Kochkev Sukat, so both of them into issues, somehow both still in the race here.
Incredible there, I don't know how he held on to that, I don't know how he's still before, actually the race ending there for Duval, but no, he's still going, and the same with the, I don't know where this, Patra they were battling with have gone, but anyway, as they now head down to finish that one, there's an ambitious scent there from that car. It's side by side still. This is a car off. As Jacob Ordonez, I believe, is dropping down just a few positions. Through goes Noah Sparks and Amara, but here we go. So around lap 2, but the battling still continues, Ross.
It's short and sharp racing, but it's aggressive here at Brands Hatch in race number 2. We had to wait a few laps for the chaos in the opening affair of this evening. Forget that one, let's just kick-start it straight out of the gates here in race number 2. That's a big look at Graven. What is going on? Somebody else has been sent for a ride. Who was that just...
That was Amara. That was Amara.
It was Amara. Oh, you can't believe it. Amara's gone head over tail, end over end, and is still in the race with no visible damage on the car. I mean... I don't even know what to say anymore. Let's just pack it in and go on home because you can't top that.
I mean, I look away for a split second. Oh, I should learn you never do that when watching Academy. I look away, have a sip, walk to the next thing, I see a red car fly through the air. I mean, wow. I mean, I don't know how that happened, but I'm sure you got a good view of that, Ross.
I mean, it wasn't the greatest view, but I just saw a car going end over end, and I'm assuming it's the same thing that happened to Lucas Machulik in race number 1 as we're side by side into Clark Curve. Aggressive racing, elbows out from our Academy Series drivers. Kulan fastest lap at the front of the pack is 2 seconds to the good. Ahead of Rietberg and Duval and Soroka as almost contact into Paddock Hill. Ben will get away with it there. A couple of drivers even over the rumble strips. That's a lock up there. Is that somebody else out of the race? Ordonez is gone as well. So that's 2 now that we've lost here on lap number 3 of 16. A contact into pit down to Graham Hills, and sliding off the road goes Goodman, and it is not Saul Goodman on this occasion as he's facing the wrong way.
Absolutely not, Ross. It's all getting very aggressive now, guys. Try not to lose your heads, please. Matteo desperately trying to keep Davocross behind, but yeah, Goodman unfortunately getting tapped from Davocross, I believe it was. Just behind, there's a car spinning. Oh no, guys! Guys, come on! Use your brakes, my friend, please! Oh no!
That's Jovovich out at his only attempt at a race this evening. That's some marker breaks I've ever seen. Some off the road goes Amara after going over. Mateo's out after that incident as well. We're side by side further on the pack coming through Clark Curve. Somehow there's no contact on that occasion over the bumps as the rear gets squirmy as you press the throttle through the floor into Paddock Hill we go. That's a lovely move there by Cruz to get in front of Brewer. And he will have to, well, the two compatriots, should I say, doing a pretty aggressive battle and the cleanest pass we've seen so far on lap 4 of 16, already a quarter of the way through this race.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's okay, there's a car off, that's Sukak there. I'm getting slightly concerned with the curb that Machulik went off, and I think Mateo went off on as well. I think people seem to be hitting that curb and it's just throwing cars in the air for whatever reason. But here we have Noah Sparks just behind Manamani Kandan there, as that is Elliot Vega, I believe, just letting Amara and Davocross through, or maybe he's a lap down as well. That's Duval through into the lead ahead of Reitberg, and I think Kulan might have made a mistake there.
could well have done the Germans down to P3. So what's gone wrong there for Timo Kulan? He's under big pressure from Soroka behind as well. The Ukrainian smelling blood in the water potentially if he gets a good run out of Clark curve. He's a bit wide though, so won't get that drive onto the main straight as you go over the crest, pick your braking zone into Paddock Hill. Quite frankly, any one of them will do, because it's hard to figure out where you're going to get stopped there. So much modulation of the anchors as you go over the bumps, go over the off-camber section. A little bit deep there, a big send from Noah Sparks. He runs wide up the inside, goes Matulik up to P6 for the man who was supposed to win race 1 until the racing gods decided to send him to the stratosphere.
He is a man on a mission, Ross. He is diving through this grid at the moment. He's a Manamanakandan is his next opponent here, and it seems like he's going to try and get him. Oh, that's a very lucky car there. That's Timo Kulan again, but there's Matulik trying to go down the inside of Manamanakandan. Is Mana going to try and hold it around the outside? Oh, he does indeed! Wow, that's well held on there from Manamanakandan, holding it around the outside of Matulik, who's trying to make his way back into P1. There's a car running wide there, that is Koshov Sukak. He's going side by side with Lau. Oh, bit of contact. Oh, is the car off? Who's that? It's a Deval.
May well, yeah, Deval has gone off and he's dropped a position, so Ryberg back to the lead of the race. It's really tight. Look at that, 6, 7, 8 cars in a train to the inside though goes Deval. Contact into Clark curve. Ryberg is going to stay on the racetrack. It's going to cost them both time. This could be Kulan to make it 3 wide, 2 abreast behind them as well. And to the inside looks Kulan. Deval's going to hold on into Paddock Hill. Oh, Ryberg really, really deep. Deval over the grass. This is unbelievable action. Now nearly 3 abreast up into Druids as well. Somebody just take a step back and have some patience, please. I'd like to take a breath at some point in this race.
Absolutely. I mean, Matulik's going to try and go round the outside, but Manakandan's going to try and go through, and oh, he's hit the wall! Matulik has hit the wall, trying to make his way past. He's going to have to do it all over again with 10 laps to go, but Manamanakandan makes his way into P3. In a through goes Hamilton-esque move, he makes his way past Ryberg and Matulik. These guys are going to try and go side by side. Round here, oh, it's very ambitious to go through this, guys. Be careful. Everyone makes it through cleanly, but oh my goodness gracious me. It's right as I say that, there's a car running off, that's Soroka. There's so much going on, Ross. I don't know what to pay attention to.
Right, everyone, let's just take a breather. Let's just take a moment. No, maybe not. Let's just go 2 wide into Sterling's instead, side by side between Matulik and Cruz. Matulik is back to P10 in all of this chaos after getting up to as high as P6 a couple of laps ago. Someone's off the road in front of them. 10 to go in this one, and it's all to play for. Deval now 1.7 clear up in front from Kulan. Kulan has a second to the good ahead of Manakandan. Off the road goes Quos. That should be pretty easy for Matulik to the inside, and indeed does get it done to Druids and makes Kulan cross sit up as well and get out of it. So P9, nice move.
Absolutely, as Deval seems to have checked out just a little bit here after making that mistake, dropping a few positions. He has come back up. There's a car off. I think that's Timo Kulan's ran wide as well. Sorry, I think I just saw that in the background. Lost a bit of time, but I just saw some dust getting kicked up and just saw, oh dear, oh, that is, some aliens are taking control of Kulan's car here. What's going on? It's all over the shop, and that's very, very laggy car of Timo Kulan there. He's out. Yeah, you can see that one come in. That was unfortunately, Timo Kulan's internet could not hold on for much longer, and he has lost P2. Very unfortunate there for Timo Kulan, who, as we saw, was going all over the shop there.
Yeah, that's one way of describing it, I suppose, isn't it? A real shame for him. That leaves 16 in this race as a result. 3 wide on the run into Paddock Hill. Sparks, Matulik and Quos. Looks like Sparks backs out of it. Matulik's going to lose the position there. In fact, it's a Kochkov Sukac. In fact, now Matulik to the outside, switch back to the inside with the mistake. Capitalizes on that opportunity. That's a lovely move. Up back into P6 now for Lucas Matulik. Nice stuff. Davakos with the fastest lap of 1:14.6. Where is Davakos? He's down in P11, so he's found a stretch of pace out there at the moment. Does have clean road in front of him though, so he's not fighting with anyone as it stands. So we're halfway through this race now. Matulik still in contention, I think, for the race win. He's certainly got the pace, and now he's got clean air. He can get the going done. It's off the road into the wall. That is a huge one there for Ryberg, and somehow doesn't collect anybody.
Oh my heart just dropped then. I thought he was going to come straight back on the track and there was going to be a massive pileup, but luckily everyone avoided him as our car's gone round. Noah Sparks needs to be careful. Oh, and there's just carnage. That's Brewer now has just spun around trying to avoid Noah Sparks, and yeah, that is you're right though. Matulik could definitely take the win here, but he's just got to bide his time. But I'm not sure how much time he can buy. 7 laps left to go on a track as short as this.
What a race, what an evening we're having here in GPVWC Academy here at Brands Hatch. Big kick of oversteer there for Soroka, it looked like, on the way out of Druids, as Lal is trying to fend off the Ukrainian for the time being. Lap 9 of 16, it seems to have calmed down at the moment. Vega's into the pit lane, as we've just seen. So they'll be coming out, but still trying to finish this race. 14 drivers, 14 runners left in this 16-lap affair. And we're quickly approaching the latter phases of the evening. Just tick past 9 o'clock here, British summer time. Although, of course, in the race, the sun's still very much shining. As someone a little bit off the road, or was that just a wheel into the gravel or the dirt? Potentially looks like that was the case. We're on board with the German Tim Quos, now on board with Aman Lal, of course, race winner in the first event of the evening. And he is now trying to put the pressure on Manikandan up for P2 and on the run through Clark's. Let's see if he gets the run into Paddock Hill.
Absolutely. Aman Lal fresh off the win in race 1, looking to get past Manikandan here. I believe he's sitting in his best position in his academy race career so far. He has Aman Lal right up behind him, and also Soroka and Matulik there, you see, just closing in. All bit of grass kicked up there from Lal as they make their way through Graham Hill Bend, down now into Surtees. Now this will be a big old test for Manikandan. Can he keep his cars behind? Obviously qualified ahead of him. While he's back in, kicks up a bit for Soroka. That might give Matulik impetus to send it going into Hawthorne, but he's got to be careful as they now head down. Matulik might try it. No, he thinks better of it, and backs off for sending a rather C move into Hawthorns.
Oh, off the road there goes Matulik a little bit. That's going to cost him some time as he tries to desperately try and find a way through this battle in front of Val. Now 6 seconds clear of those behind, so the solution is looking good at the moment, but as we saw in race 1, it could all change very, very quickly here in GPVWC Academy.
There, Ross, but yeah, Soroka, he's out.
Oh, well, that was that then. We'll hopefully get a replay of that one in a few short moments, but the Ukrainians down and out of race 2. Looked like a pretty heavy impact as well. Back to this battle, and Lal is too far back for the time being. It's all just a bit patient at the moment. Just need to try and catch up. You're too far back to launch a move. Then you're close enough, and then you've got to launch the move. Then you've got to confirm the move as well. So just maybe a few moments of breathing for us here, as that is a matter into the wall at Sterling's. Gone straight on, caught the grass on the way into the penultimate turn, but should be able to make it back to the pit lane. That was a heavy impact into the tyre barriers.
Absolutely. I mean, fair play on him. It seems like he's going to try and continue to get it back to the pit lane, but I mean, you might as well. There's only 12 cars left in this race. It's been a very high attrition race here in race 2, but Aman Lal still stuck behind Manikandan here. Manikandan will have to defend his socks off in these last 5 laps to try and hold on to that P2. All bit of dust kicks up there as Aman Lal is right on the back. So we see the front wing of Mata there at Sterling's, but Lal looking at every option he can on Manikandan, but Matulik's going to be looking for an opening. Is this the opening he's been after? He's very, very close to Aman Lal here for a move going into Paddock Hill Bend. Aman Lal goes defensive. Is Matulik going to look for a better run coming through the exit of Paddock Hill Bend, heading down now into Druids? Is he going to try late send? Oh, very late defence there from Lal, but Lal stays ahead of Matulik, heading down into Graham Hill Bend, Ross.
Let's see if they hold on though through the left-hander. Matulik, oh, wide there from Lal, is off the road further back. That's the Val. That's the race leader. And the gap's going to vanish. He's going to cut back in front. It will be Manikandan. He's going to get the race lead here, and suddenly this race has been blown wide open. The St. Lucian with a costly error, and now it's anybody's guess who's going to win this race.
Yeah, Manikandan inherits the lead. Is he going to get his first academy win here? He's going to have to hold on for dear life, but the Val's going to try a late send on him, and oh no! That's not a good overtake whatsoever. I'm sorry, I have to say it. That was never going to work going into Westfield. Unfortunately, Val, after that mistake, has got impatient. He had the pace to get that past, but unfortunately, that is Mano and Manikandan and Val with unfortunately making contact. But now the battle goes to Lala Machulik for the lead, Ross.
These gladiators are certainly doing battle here at the arena known as, well, Brands Hatch. But that 13 of 16, Lal and Machulik now for the race lead. Lal, race 1 winner, Machulik searching for some kind of redemption, some kind of retribution from race number 1 earlier on when he all but had it in the bag. And the sim racing gods said no. Lal was deep at Graham Hill, but can still carry the pace. Machulik watching, waiting like a predator, sniffing out his prey. He just wants to pick the correct moment. He's seen the chaos unfold around him. He's had the bad luck in race 1. He knows he just needs to pick the moment. The question is when does that moment arrive? Is it worth the risk of launching an overtake, or maybe try to just make Lal force an error potentially as Davakos and Brewer side by side into Hawthorns? The German gets it done. A nice move there.
Yeah, that was a very nice, clean overtake, and what we like to see here in Academy. But Lucas Machulik now right on the back of Aman Lal. Is he going to take the win that he deserved in race 1? We've got 3 laps to go now, and he's going to try and get on the back of Lal with this dirty air squad half, but he's getting some good runs out of Paddock Hill, maybe trying to see where Lal is weak, where he's strong, and maybe using that to capitalise on overtake. Very much riding the curve there of Druids, maybe to grab himself some extra rotation. But this is going to be an interesting race down to the wire between Machulik and Lal, as Davakos is not giving up on Brewer. Is he going to try send going to Druids? Oh, it's a late send. Brewer leaves him the space though. Brewer does hold on. Bit of dust kicked up. Is Davakos going to try send going into Graham Hill? No, he won't. As Brewer stays ahead, compromises the exit of Davakos. But here we go then. We now have a battle for P4. Manikandan was just battling for the lead until unfortunately there was contact. As Deval and Mano decided to go side by side around the corner that usually, Ross, you don't usually go side by side through there, do you?
I mean, you can try. I wouldn't recommend it though, to say the least. We are about to head onto the penultimate lap of this contest, onto the penultimate lap of this evening's action in GPVWC Academy. Lal looking to make it a double. Machulik, as I mentioned earlier, looking for a bit of redemption after it was snatched away from him through no fault of his own in race number 1. We ride on board with the second place driver briefly before cutting back away to trackside inside at Graham Hill Bend there. Clearly got some kind of drone camera there, because that's well onto the grass where that camera position is. But Lal has been now right on board with the race leader. He's looking comfortable and he's looking consistent. No mistakes yet, and driving with enough pace to keep Lucas behind. That's all he needs to do, just keep his cool, keep it calm and collected, and he could be taking 2 out of 2 here this evening. But there's still 1.5 laps left to run, and he's got a very feisty Machulik right on his gearbox.
Absolutely, Machulik there, look at how hard he's pushing. You can see he is bringing the neck out of that car. He's desperately using all the track he can to try and keep in touch with Lal. In other news as well, Manikandan is now up into P3. I'm not entirely sure when that happened, but he's gone from P4 to P3. Might have been a mistake from the driver in P3, but yeah, here we go. So Lal and Machulik heading down now onto the final lap. Down into Paddock Hill Bend. Will it be double for Lal, or Machulik snatch the win that he so wanted in race 1? As they now head down into Druids. It's going to be a late send from Machulik. No! Lal breaks later than Machulik there. Machulik will have to find another area to make his overtake on. Is it going to be Hawthorns after the Pilgrim's drop? If he gets a good exit out of Surtees, you'll want a late apex here, get the power on nice early. Now. There we go, let's see. Can he get enough slipstream? He looks quite far back here, but this track is very difficult to overtake on. Lal tries to break the toe here as they now head down into Hawthorns. Is Machulik going to have a better Coos as well, and conscious of Sukak dropping a few positions as he runs it a bit wide. Machulik Oh, yes, he's pushed quite a lot there, and he's lost a lot of time to Lau. I think Lau is going to win this and make it the double here, Ross.
You can't cut away from what a drive it has been from Matulik, from well back on the grid to challenging late in the day. Maybe if he had a couple of extra laps, he could have done it, but his hometown hero, Amin Lal, is going to get the double this evening. He wins race number 2 here at Brands Hatch in GPVWC Academy. Lucas Matulik will be disappointed with second, but a great drive regardless from him. Looks like it will be Mano Manikandan who's going to hold on to third place by the skin of his teeth from Noah Sparks to round out the podium places. But what a chaotic evening it has been. What a chaotic race too. It's always a treat, GPVWC Academy. It's always a treat when racing heads to Brands Hatch. Combine the two and you have an amazing Monday evening's entertainment. At the end of it all though, Lal with 2 out of 2 will be a very, very happy boy. Looks like Savelli Kochikov Sukac had a, excuse me, issue on the last lap. Oh, someone's spinning. Oh, no. On the last lap, getting taken out by somebody. Who was that collected him? Was it potentially Tim Quos, perhaps? Yeah, I think it was. Let's yeah, so Quos had lost it, well, very late. Let's see what happened to the German. On the exit of Graham Hill, ran it deep and then just lost it. Didn't hold the brakes. Did. Yeah, Arca brakes once again striking. But that's a real shame for both of them. Can't quite complete the final race of the evening. And Matter also apparently made it back to the pit lane with 3 wheels on the wagon, it would seem.
Wow.
So let's have yeah.
Let's see here then. So
that's a line.
I think that was what we saw.
Yeah, that's what we saw earlier. Yeah, it is. And then did he crash coming into the pit lane? He must have done, surely. That's yeah. So yeah, you can see just the pain and suffering, and the continued pain and suffering, and even more pain and suffering. And the virtual pit crew would probably have been staring at that one going, what's even the point of this anymore, mate? Just get out of the car, go back to the wagon, drive home. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. But at least fair play to getting back to the pit lane. There's Sergei Soroka entering relations with the gravel trap, I think is how I term it. Oh, just ever so slightly kissed the grass on the way in. So easily done. And a real shame for the Ukrainian there.
Absolutely. It seems to be a very cool mistake through that corner. You know, I think you're trying to use as much track as you can, but obviously when you use too much, you find the grass and then the wall and then no front wing. So yeah, that is unfortunately the repercussions of trying to use as much of the track as possible. As Vega is doing donuts in the pit lane.
Fair enough, may as well. Trying to make their way back into the garage. You don't have to do that on R2. It's not that hardcore of a simulation, but yeah, it's not quite Grand Prix 4 levels over here. But yeah, Vega, quiet night from Elliot Vega. But you know, completed the race at least, so can't complain about that. It's experience. That is not so quiet of a night. Yeah, it almost it's kind of, they went for the halfway house between the Grand Prix loop and the Indy circuit through there. This is what happened to Duval towards the end by the looks of things. Finished in 5th place at the end of that one. Just ran it a bit deep coming out of Sterling. That's all right. Bit of a rally cross in there. Or was this an incident earlier on? Or was this when they were still in the lead? So that was when they were still in the lead. Right, this is then later on. This is coming through the right-hander at Westfield. Oh, I just clipped the curb straight on and did kiss the barrier.
Yeah, that might be a bit of suspension damage there for Anthony, but he'll be very lucky to have been gotten away with that. But,
there's Timo Kulin.
And there's the yeah, it's very unfortunate for Timo, but you can see this happening from even the start of the race. You know, I thought he stalled, but oh dear, this is not something I've seen. Or is it something we've seen? Oh, was this the just the one where he rejoined and then, yeah, we did see this, yeah. Usually when there's a car ahead of you, you brake a little bit, but I don't think, yeah, that was, to be fair, this rejoins back on the track. It's quite hard to avoid, but very unfortunate there for Jokovic, who joined race 2. Unfortunately, DNF'd too far into it, so that's all, yeah, there you go.
let's still not take it away from Lucas Matchlook at the end of the day. Of course, was going to win race 1, 14th to 2nd in race number 2 as well. He's been absolutely mighty, as he has been all season long here in GPVWC Academy. And again, if there's not a Formula Sprint 2 team with their eye on him, I quite frankly don't know what they're doing over there, because the guy has buckets of talent and should surely be up in FS2 by now.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, he will be upset over what happened in race 1, but I think anyone can see, as we see here at the contact we saw that earlier, but anyone can see that he's at the moment the driver to pick up if you know, he seems to be the quickest out there at the moment. And you know, coming back from starting 14th after what happened in race 1 to get P2, battle for the win, that's impressive, and I think he can be really proud of what he's done today. And you know, let's also not take away from Lal as well, who obviously won both races, and that's what happened there. Again, another kickflip. I think questions will be asked, but yeah, it's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it all kind of kicked off in the back of it. The fact that Sophie and Amara had all 4 wheels on the wagon at the end of doing like 3 barrel rolls, like, you know what? That is just physics simulation at its absolute finest, quite frankly. As there was the Anthony Duval going for a little bit of a journey through the grass there, and then somebody else going on. Oh, that's the line through Dingledell.
Yeah.
It's been an evening. It's certainly been entertaining, shall we say, here at GPVWC Academy.
It has indeed, Ross. It has indeed. Race 2 did throw a lot of. Yeah, what happened to Shingas actually off the start? Let's see here then. Paddock Hill, obviously starting for the pit lane. Through Paddock Hill, coming down into Druids. What's going to happen here? I mean, yeah, I missed a breaking point. We've seen that happen. But yeah, very unfortunate there for Shingas. And that was a very short race too, unfortunately.
Yeah, a shame, but it is at the end of the day the double for Aman Lal. A great night for him. 2 wins on home soil as he takes race 2. Lucas Matchlook, a fantastic drive from 14th up to 2nd place. Mano Manikandan in P3 rounds out our podium places. Following them to round out our top 10, it was Noah Sparks, Anthony Duval, Jason Brewer, Georgios Davakos, Sofian Amara. After again, a quad barrel roll, I think it was. Kochev Sukac, apparently DNF, but still finishes P9, as the same does Urik Goodman, R Factor 2, having an R Factor 2 moment there, so we'll call that P10. And then P11 for Tim Quost, then everyone else DNF'd actually, so Tim Quost, Pablo Mata, Sergei Soroka, Martin Rieberg, Elliot Vega, Timo Kulin, Andrea Jovovic, Loza Mateo, Jakob Ordons, and Murat Shingis should have been P20th DNFing at the end of that one as well. Yeah, very much a race of attrition was the second contest this evening. We also apparently lost no one else. We're back to the top 10-ish, top 8/9, 9, whatever you want to call it. It's an old simulator R Factor 2. It has its quirks.
It does indeed. It does indeed. But I believe now we're moving on to interviews. So at the moment we have Lucas Pachulik, Mano Manikandan, and Sofian Amara, I believe, in the interview room at the moment, waiting to be interviewed after those 2 races. What do we think, Ross? Who should we go for first?
I would say Machulik, but he's deafened himself, so I guess Manikandan got a podium in race number 2 there. May as well be a good enough time to speak to him after a podium here in the Academy Series this evening.
Absolutely. Let's bring him on in. Mano, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello, mate. So that is P4, is it, race? Or did you get P5 race 1? Sorry.
P4 race 1 and P3
P4
race 2, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
P4 race 1, P3 race 2. So podium in Academy. Is it your first podium, I believe?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations on that, my friend. Do you want to just talk us through your races?
Yeah, sure. So I think qualifying, realized there was probably quite a bit more pace than I had thought I had, so pushed and got a decent position. And then, around Brands Hatch and especially in Academy, it was mainly just a survival game, really, because I didn't think many people were going to make it to the end. And if I'm correct, I'm pretty sure that's what happened across both races. There was a lot of DNFs, so it was mainly just about keeping ourselves in the race till the end. And yeah, I think race 1 was quite quiet. It was really just sort of pace management, a bit of hairy incidents with some back markers. It was mainly race 2 that was, I think, quite eventful. I don't know how much was caught on stream, but you know, just managing third to second place, and then I think I saw Anthony come off, heading out of the first sector, which was a bit of a surprise. So actually managed to jump him for P1, but I just did not expect him to have the run he would out of that down into the downhill section. So unfortunately didn't leave him too much space. I thought he would back out of that move, but we made a bit of contact, picked up some suspension damage, and to be honest, I thought my race was over there, but thankfully we managed to nurse the car all the way back towards a podium finish, despite some pressure from behind. So yeah, it was definitely good. I think good confidence boost after a couple of dismal performances. So hopefully we can carry that into the next few races as well.
Absolutely, you know, obviously qualify, maybe not have gone as well as you wanted it to, but during the races you definitely showed your race pace there. We had a few incidents at what corner was it again? It was, I think, Graham Hill, the outside curb, just coming out of Graham Hill. Did you have any problems with that curb at all?
Yeah, I think it wasn't necessarily the curb. Is this turn 1, by the way, or are we talking somewhere else?
No, so you're coming out of Druids, you know, the hairpin, and then you go down into Graham Hill. It's like a left-hander.
Oh yeah.
You're facing paddock as you're going into it.
Yeah. I think to be fair, when you were on the track, the curb is quite catfishy in the sense that it looks quite flat, but when you take it, it's actually quite bumpy. So I think a lot of drivers were trying to maybe push it, just seeing it looked quite flat when they were approaching, so they maybe thought they can take a bit more. I think I was a victim of this every now and then, but I would never make sure I would go a bit over the limit. So I think that's probably where people were getting caught out. And then if you compromise your entry and you try to carry in the same amount of speed that you usually do, you would just spin. So I think that's what happened to a number of people today. So it was really just about making sure you knew the limits before you got into the race and just keeping to them.
Yeah, well, good job, mate. Any questions, Ross?
No, not really from me. Just wanted to say, yeah, congratulations, Mano. Really good couple of races from yourself this evening. Only ways up from here, mate.
I appreciate it, Ross. Thank you very much. And thank you, James.
No problem. Have a good evening, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, that, ladies and gentlemen, was Mano Kandan. So I do believe, Ross, Lucas is on deafened, but he is ready. So
should we get him in then?
Next. Yeah, we'll get him in. There we go. Let's drag him in.
Let's give it a sec. See if he undeafens himself. There we go.
Lucas, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, a very, very unfortunate race 1 there, my friend. That's you know, you had that one in the bag, and unfortunately, you know, what happened. But race 2 was incredible, an incredible show of pace. Do you want to just talk us through your races?
Yeah, I mean, I finally got pole. I was really happy to get pole. I was like less than a 10th off in Imola, so I was quite excited to start off the front. I was leading by 11 seconds and I just flipped out of the circuit. I was holding onto the wheel, hoping I would land back on the circuit like Sofiane did, I think. Yeah, flipped into the paddock and through the ground, so just really, really mad over that. If it happened like 5 laps into the race, I wouldn't mind, but I did most of the race and flipped out. But then on race 2, I was making up a lot of positions, then I got put into the wall, and then the same guy that put me into the wall spun. A few laps later, missed him by a few inches, not even. And yeah, just had way too much damage to get the lead. But I'm happy with P2 at least. I think I got the maximum out of the incidents that happened to me today.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, even through the contacts in race 2, you still persevered, and found your way up into a good position, and I think
Yeah.
any FS2 team or FS1 team would be happy to have you, my friend, because that was an incredible performance. I do have to say so myself. Race 2, I will have a few questions. Well, not a few, just the one from me. How did you find overtaking? Because me and Ross, we saw you scything through that pack even after a few mistakes, obviously not from you, but maybe from others. But just tell us, how easy was it for you to overtake on a track that was, with these cars, quite difficult to say the least?
Yeah, it's pretty rough to overtake here. You really have to prepare the exits, so you can send a dive bomb into the next corner or something like that. I think the difference in my pace compared to the rest of the field was quite big, so I was just so much quicker than the rest of the pack. I was able to really pull off a switchback anywhere, but that led to my incident where I was going around the slower driver and he put me into the wall. So yeah, overtaking here is not ideal. Yeah, don't put this track back on the calendar. Other than that, got a few good moves in there, but yeah, for racing it's not ideal.
Yeah, you did a very good job tonight, my friend, regardless of the situation. Ross, any questions?
Yeah, Lucas, great driving tonight. Just unfortunate, Lady Luck seemingly not on your side this evening. Do just want to ask her, what was it like from your perspective when you got sent into the atmosphere in race number 1? Did you kind of have any idea what was going on? Was it suddenly you were just upside down?
Well, it happened to me once in practice on the exit of turn 1, so I knew about it. I was avoiding the curbs on purpose the whole race, but in that lap, I don't know, lap 12 or whatever it was, just went a bit wide. And I was just zoned out. I had a huge gap behind me. I knew Duval crashed out, so yeah, I just went over the curb. Suddenly I was in the air. I was looking up at the sky. Got a pretty huge hit into my wrist, so I really hope there's more quality control over these tracks, as it was not comfortable. But I tried to hold on to it. I saw that none of my parts were flying off, and I was hoping I would land back on the circuit, but yeah, just unlucky and flew out.
That's fair enough. Well, that's all from me for you, Lucas. But still, regardless, some great driving tonight. Just unfortunately, you didn't walk away with the race win.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, have a good evening, mate. So then, that was Lucas Machulik. As you say, Ross, Lady Luck was definitely not on his side tonight. But we have one more driver who was in the race, I believe. We've got Sofian Armara, I believe. I think
Hopefully.
my voice was very high then. Yes, I do believe that is our driver. I'm not sure. I'm just going to check because I can't see the last name. So I just want to make sure.
It must be them, surely.
Yeah, it must be. I want to double check though, so I'm making sure I'm not bringing in the wrong person. Sophia and Amara, that is them, isn't it? In the interviews. Yes, it is. Okay, right. So next up we have Sophia and Amara. Sophia, can you hear us?
Yeah, very well.
Very well, perfect, lovely.
Yeah.
So race 1, second place. Race 2, unfortunately, you did get sent into the sky, I believe, and flipped multiple times.
Yeah. It was right.
So, yeah. Do you want to? But still got P10 in the end, so amazing you did keep all 4 wheels on the wagon. Do you want to talk us through your 2 races?
Oh man, the 2 race was so crazy. The first one, it was really good. I've got the pace. I start P6 and made the 2-3 overtake on the first lap, and I managed my car. Everything was nice because the driver ahead made some mistake, so I was on the podium, and at the same time, a man make some pressure. It was really difficult, and it was like this, like for 10 laps, I was pretty scared because he was so faster. And when I made a mistake, he overtook me, and I saw his username goes P2 to P1, and I was like, No, I was P1 all the time. And I make some pressure for the 2 laps to go and I didn't make it, but P2 was really good for me. And race 2, it was the start was really good. I make some overtakes like in the first one. And when I go to the curb on laps 2, I don't know why the car was flying. And at that time I was really scared. And I was last, I've got all the damage, and my target was simple, it was just to finish the race, and it was like this. There is another time when there is a 5 cars who crashed at the same straight, and I goes left to right, but I didn't make it. I spawned on the sorry, my English is not very good, but at the next corner, I spawn, and the rest of the race, I just managed the car. But maybe every time I finish a lap, I was really happy because I got some oversteer and the steer with the damage, and I finished P8, I guess. And yeah, it was a pretty decent weekend compared to Imola. And I was really happy about that.
Yeah, it was very, very good to see. Obviously, after that flip, we did see that you still had all 4 wheels and your front and rear wings still attached, but you still say you had damage. Was it just like maybe suspension, or was it just damage that maybe slowed your car down a little bit?
It was I know it was all the car, but not the engine. It was the front wing, the side pod, the rear wing, I guess the suspension, but it was not that difficult. But yeah, all the car except the engine.
Well, it was a brilliant 2 races from you, mate. But Ross, to ask Ross, any questions?
Yes, Sofiana, great job tonight. Some really good driving out there. But yeah, race number 2, of course, as we mentioned, on your roof at one point, had a couple of incidents and still finished the race in a really solid position. Was it just a case of you had the crashes and then thought, well, we'll just keep going and see what happens?
Yeah, I think about that. And maybe if I finish the race, I can get some point on the standing. And yeah. I've got that thing because even on race 1, I thought I was finished P5 and I was fighting for P1. So there is nothing to lose when I got damage. I was just racing and get some points.
Awesome stuff. Well, that's all from me, but Sofiane, again, great driving tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
The pleasure's all ours, my friend. Have a good evening, yeah?
Thank you everyone.
Lovely. I believe that is all our interviews done, Ross.
Looks like it. Alex Bettany was just seen a message from him telling her to ask us about his fuel. Apparently, a bit later that, but there may have been something going on there. It would seem, but yeah, that is all of our interviews done. Yeah, sorry to Alex and Sofiane for that one again, but yeah, all of our interviews done to put a cap on what's been a pretty crazy evening here at Brands Hatch.
Definitely, Ross. Definitely. But I think we will probably go to sleep after that one and rest, but I hope all you viewers had a lovely time watching this. Very hectic, very crazy, but that's Academy for you, isn't it? But we will join you in 2 weeks' time for, I can remember this, Belgium, is it the next one? I should know this.
Maybe. No, it was Holland, I think. Zandvoort. Yes, I was right. Thank you, Amir. It's on the camera. Yes, Zandvoort.
Thank you, Amir. We will join you for Zandvoort in 2 weeks' time. But till then, have a lovely rest of your evening. See you later.
Thank you.